One local woman is celebrating her 105th birthday. Happy birthday, Heather.
You are so funny.
That wasn't on the prompter.
And what better way to celebrate than to look back on a life well lived? Storyteller Erin Valley, who obviously finds Tim funny, caught up with the birthday girl at Evergreen Place in Champaign.
Yes, so time is no match for Julia Johnson. Born in Sydney, Illinois in 1914, Julia is a proud great-grandmother, world traveler, and friend to everyone she meets. Here's what I learned about her life while attending her birthday party. On Julia Johnson's 105th birthday, I asked her how she was feeling.
Wow. It is amazing. I never thought I would ever live this long. Never.
Born in Sydney, Illinois in 1914, Julia still remembers the car her father used to drive as a mail carrier.
That old Model T, well, I shouldn't say old, it was a brand new. Of course, there's no such thing as a starter. He had to crank it, and he broke his arm cranking.
Julia's family moved to Urbana when she was a teenager. It was here she graduated from Urbana High School and married Curly Johnson at the age of 18. But she wasn't exactly in a rush to have her first child.
I waited 5 years before I had my son. I had a lot of growing up to do. It's amazing how stupid you are when you're young, when you're 18. You think you know it all. You know nothing.
Well, one day she did know something, and that something was that she was finally ready to be a mom. So Les entered the picture.
I always try to convince her that she's lived to be 105 because it was just, she had such a stress-free life raising me.
Les says he's just happy he gets to spend another birthday with her.
How many people my age still got their mother? That's another thing.
Apart from motherhood, Julia helped out at her father's grocery store and took over once he retired. She also worked at Carl doing lab recording for about 15 years.
She was quite a mom.
Eventually, Les turned the family store into a cocktail lounge. When Julia's husband passed away, she decided to spend a month in sunny Florida. But it was who she met on that trip that changed everything.
Well, I met a group of people that was going to China. And so I hooked in with them, and it was grand. So then after that, I just took off. It was so much fun to travel.
At 70 years old, Julia decided to see the world, and she did it as a female solo traveler.
The only time you're alone really is when you leave the house. But the rest of the time you're with people.
She gave whitewater rafting a try, rode across the African bush in a hot air balloon, and even explored the Arctic Circle.
She's been every place in the world. She's been around the world, I don't know how many spots.
Jamie Beck is the director of Champaign's Evergreen Place Assisted Living. She says throwing Julia's birthday party has been a joy.
Well, I have to say it is an honor and a privilege to care for any of our seniors, but caring for Julia, who is 105 and full of life and adventure still, is absolutely probably one of the highlights of my time being here at Evergreen.
She says Julia knows no stranger and usually catches the early crowd at breakfast, mingling with others as they file in.
And of course, everyone's intrigued by her story, and a stranger would stop and talk to her as soon as they know she's the one that's 105. She's the cool one.
It is cool to be 105, and everyone has their speculations on how she's lived so long. Julia drove a car until she was 103, so perhaps it boils down to her adventurous spirit.
But you can tell she's just full of adventure, and you can just see it in her eyes.
Maybe it's her diet.
My God, she eats like a 9-year-old kid. She eats candy, cookies. Someone just gave her a present yesterday, bacon with chocolate on it.
But as for what Julia thinks,
the only thing I can think of is that I exercised every morning. I really think that that is what makes me live so long.
Julia also told me off camera that she attributes chocolate and lipstick to a long life. So there you have it. Love both those things.